Hello, hello, and welcome to today's Mind Soulful Monday. Hi, I'm your host. I'm Brooke-Sidney. I'm your mindfulness mentor, your self-love advocate, and your inner voice and soul story coach. And today I'm coming to continue our conversation that's been all about the power of quiet. So today we are talking about specifically how being quiet or being still, however you want to think about it, how that really helps us in terms of when we react, when we have something to react to, when we're caught up in the heat of the moment. So even for myself, I am always, I feel like, having to deal with things as an attorney, as a mindfulness coach, even when I'm working with clients, people will throw things at you, especially in the legal field. And oftentimes people are actually doing particular things to elicit a response. I think that's not unique to the legal field. I think that's people in general. A lot of people want to initiate or elicit emotional reactions from you. There are definitely people in this world that they like to know that they've either stirred the pot or that they're getting through to you by the emotional response that you give them. And if we haven't worked on, I think, being present in the moment, we can just fly off the handle. I have definitely have times like in the past where without that pause or without that break, then you get an answer from me that perhaps may be unfiltered. And I think we all know what unfiltered means, right? Like maybe not the thing that you wanted to necessarily say, but it ends up coming out anyway. Maybe your first thought, which is sometimes your best thought, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you know that it takes a moment for us to get past the emotional element and get to our more settled or neutral space, and then start to bring in a more present or relaxed or centered thought or emotion. And so I've seen that both in like dealing with clients, and I've found it to be really, really helpful. So like if you are dealing with someone who's upset, and instead of allowing yourself to become reactive, meaning to engage from that reactivity point, if you're able to pause and be still, regain your center, oftentimes you will not fly off the handle. You will have taken a moment to pause, understand the moment, think through where you want to come out at the end of this situation, and then be able to apply the appropriate response and reaction. So even further still, I've seen it in the kids that I work with. So last school year, I was teaching mindful movement and mindful breath to sixth graders at a neighborhood school in Los Angeles. And so a lot of the kids would come up to me afterwards and start telling me what I consider to be success stories, meaning they would come up and say things like, okay, Miss Harbor, I've tried this breathing stuff and now I'm not going off on that girl, or now I'm not about to hit that girl upside of her head. Or even teachers that are coming up to me and saying, wow, I've been working on my mindfulness and my breath work and the pause, and now I'm not, going off on that person. I don't have road rage as bad. I'm not as likely to like honk and go off. Or even my husband now, I am pausing and thinking through what I'm going to say so we don't roll right into an argument. When I tell you that this method works, it works. It works for children, it works for sixth graders, it works for teachers, and it works for adults, and it has worked for me. So here's essentially what you do. You want to first and foremost start to instill moments of silence in your day. That can be as simple as, I know I talk about this in my Mind Soulful membership circle, which, hey, it's out there. I'd love for you to check it out. Link is in the comment or link is in the profile. But basically it is instilling moments of silence and pause into your day. And that can be as simple as setting a timer, like an alarm, so that you periodically through the day will stop and take a couple of deep and cleansing breaths. It also includes developing a meditation practice. And the reason why I say that you want to do these things in addition to pausing and reacting in the moment is because it starts to build a habit. It essentially builds the silence and the pause moment, right? It builds that muscle so that when these things happen to you on the fly, your reflex, your normal patterning, your normal habitual way of thinking and reacting is to probably fly off or say the first thing that comes to mind, or even get flustered or overwhelmed, or, you know, like overcome, versus if you've instilled a silence or meditation or quiet practice, that then starts to become your base. That then starts to become your foundation. So when these things come up, you're like, ooh, okay, now I need to take it into the silence, right? Now I need to take it into prayer, however you look at it. But you need to instill these moments of silence and quiet and meditation, which gives us space so that we have a pause, so that we're not reacting out of autopilot or out of old patterns, and often out of a place that's not for our highest good. So this week, I'd love for you to try the power of quiet to help you in being more proactive and less reactive. I'd love for you to try that this week. If you have any questions or need further help, I'd love for you to message me. I'm totally around. And if you're looking to really explore developing that meditation and that quiet muscle, I'd love for you to join me in the MindSoulful membership circle. There's definitely links in the comments and in the profiles. And I'd love for you to share, love, like, and, you know, tap it out on this video. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the MindSoulful Minute. Have a great week.